What's good, everybody? Welcome to the 19th episode of the Worldwide Company of Gamers podcast. How are you all doing this evening? Hope you're all doing good. I'm extremely hyped and excited about what we've got tonight. We're doing a bit of a chilled pre-Christmas special where we have a more lackadaisical kind of approach to a podcast where we're just going to talk about something that we're really all very excited about, not really covering the weekly topics, none of that generic stuff, but we're just going to dive into really our thoughts on this bad boy, the Horizon Forbidden West, and all its reveals, all that's been shown. It's pretty exciting, isn't it? Sure you would all agree. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Wow, so many people right now. New names and familiar names. Mostro Man, it's good to see you again, dude.
Shout out, guys.
Jonathan Martinez, Nassim. Good evening, my boy Shaky Shako.
Yo, Shaky.
Lee Gaming, Nasos, Sarikis. I know him on Twitter. He goes by a different name. It's great to see you here, buddy. Who are you? Number 5. Good evening, PlayStation Gaming Extremist. The Unknown, Caesar Exposito. Oh, my dudes,
Hey.
all of you in the chat right now. Much love to all of you, and thank you for being here. Really looking forward to tonight, guys. It's been a bit of a Ice Queen Gaming. Good evening to you, and Twisted Sin. Awesome that you're here. Ahmed, Lothric, giving you all a shout. I sound very low, do I? I apologize. Let me see if I can turn my mic up. A shout. Unfortunately, guys, I've got a bit of an issue with my mic, and I can't seem to find any way of turning it up. I've got it on max, so the only thing I can do is just to speak into the mic as close as I can. That's the best thing I can do, I'm afraid. Let me just as I can. That's the best thing I can do. Are you sure I'm low, or do you guys just need to turn the volume up? I'm listening back to myself, and I can hear myself pretty well. But am I so low that you are struggling to hear me, or is it acceptable? I really hope it's acceptable.
You sound good to me.
Yeah,
they're saying that sounds good now.
Okay, cool. All right. Okay, awesome. That's good to hear. So let's get on with this awesome show. DZ is on his way, guys. He's going to be an hour late, but he'll be here around 10 o'clock. The Forgetful Gamer, what's good? Aiden, Delaney. So many names, new fresh names, or names I've not seen for a while, returning. Newtonian, all of you, thank you for being here. Hit that like button, share this out if you can. Let people know that we're live, that we're ready to get going into this awesome show that we have for you this evening. So, first up, let's introduce some of the panel. We have a special guest, which I'm just moving this so it's not in the way of the chat. We have a special guest tonight, Toolman55. Been wanting this chap on the show for a while, and we finally got him on. Toolman, what's good, dude?
I'm doing good, Wooly. Just want to say shout out to the chat, shout out to the panel. Got to talk to each of you, except for Wilhelm. You came in right there before we started, maybe 10 minutes before. I didn't get a chance to say hi to you, but but no, I'm doing good. I'm doing good. I know we messaged on Twitter here. I think it was what, 2 days ago, I think, and you sent me an invite or shouted out and asked me about if I wanted to come on. I was like, heck yeah, sure. So this is my first time being on a podcast. So I know me and Wooly had a little fun back and forth there. I messaged him in a DM, or he messaged me, and I guess I got dyslexic or something and messed up my wording there. And I read it back and I was like, that didn't sound right at all. So I sent a little meme of Steve Carell from The Office with like a if face. And in the process, I did it again when I was doing that. So anyway, it was a fun little thing back and forth, but he laughed and everything. So, but it's good to be here. Nice to see in the chat. So just ready for a great show. Thanks for having me.
I don't know what this show seems to be on a roll right now with people's first times on podcasts. Like, it was Zubitech's first time on a podcast when we first had him on, and he's been on twice now. It was HT Gamer's first time on a podcast. It was there's been a few.
It was also mine first time as well.
First time on a podcast. It was
Also mine.
It was OT's first time on a podcast, and I think it was
Yeah.
I genuinely think it was DZ's first time as well.
It'd just be the first timers club.
Honestly, like, there's been so many first time podcast appearances where this show has been an introduction for people of such high caliber. And when I speak about high caliber, I'm not speaking about in the typical way that, like, whether they're wealthy or rich or powerful in political positions or anything like that, or celebrity status. Nothing vain and fickle like that. But in terms of their profession, their expertise, their articulation, their ability to educate us, they have something of high value to give, and it's crazy to me that so many of these people are just very humbly behind the scenes supporting even this podcast and other podcasts with a lot to offer, but not saying much, and give very little, have very little to say because they're humble. And it takes for me to kind of see these people and go, yo, I really want you on the podcast, would you consider it, and kind of talk them into it. Zuby kept saying no because he was too shy, even though he's super in the know and has so much to offer and gives a lot to the community on Twitter. He's so shy on the mic, and yet now he's been on twice, and you know, and also with you, Toolman. I mean, now let's break this down. You're a programmer, and you also help manufacture, develop dye. Am I right? Or is that
tool and die maker? So it's like you hear the terms machinist, tool maker, tool and die maker. You know, so I can use either manual machines or CNC machines to make any given part from, you know, just any kind of material, whether it be a chunk of steel or tool steel or aluminum, brass, copper, plastic, anything you can chuck up on or bolt down and machine out. And the programming side of it is I've got the 3D software to be able to do 2D and 3D drawings, and able to draw it from just a paper print that we get in, or a drawing from an email that the customer might send. And you just you put all that in there and draw it up to create the part. And it's pretty cool. It's pretty neat. It's been a good in the machining, they call it, you know, or they can call us like tradesmen. It's been a good trade for me and my family. So yeah, I'm really glad the choice of getting into it.
Where are you when Xbox needs you the most?
I tell you what, I'm in Jez, 7780s, the Grindhouse. I watch his on
Yeah, I love
Mondays,
Jez.
and
Shout out to Jez, man.
Jez is a character, but he's always calling me the tools, and like if I show up in the chat, he always goes, "The tools are here." It's been funny, but yeah, but yeah, that's been a running joke with him with me about Xbox stuff. So,
Yeah.
but
So what got you into this podcast, dude? How did you come to hear of it? What's because you've been a supporter of this show for a while now,
mhm,
and you know it's amazing that you've kind of stuck around and watched these
mhm.
shows. So what is it that
It's
kind of drew you to this panel, this show, and this panel?
That's kind of like we were talking about before the show started. It's something about just people in general that there's something that you just connect with, whether it be a joke or just liked interest, like-minded, that kind of stuff. That personality, just the way people present themselves. It draws you in, and you just connect immediately. So that's. But as far as how I found you, it was from watching Thursday nights with Saltiest Gaming. I was watching that. I've been watching that for a year, I think. I think it's about a year, something like that. But I know I was saying, the more you watch a show, the more you get to know the regular panel members. Um, and then the shout outs that the host and the panel members have with each other. They talk about looking up each of the panel members up, and to search them out on social media or their own channels. So from there, Wooly, your channel, that's how I found out about the Company of Gamers. And I don't think I started watching it from the first episode. I don't know what episode I started watching, but ever since I started, I don't think I've missed one. So I know it's been probably a good 2 or 3 months I've been watching. It may be longer, but I'm not sure. So that's how I came about the Company of Gamers podcast, and really enjoying it.
That's awesome, man. Honestly, like it's a privilege, and it means a lot to us, the panel. Like we in our private chat, we're always celebrating, new names when they come, or when we get feedback. I always share the feedback to the panel in the group chat, and we're all celebrating it. And so it really does mean a lot to all of us that you're a fan, of the show. So appreciate it. And that goes to all of you in the chat who are regularly tuning into the show. We've gone from a humble 150 subscribers around about to 600 now. 600 subscribers within 18 shows. So it's amazing, and it really means a lot. And guys, to put that into perspective, we only do live content once a week. So for it to get to that number, when it's only a once a week live content YouTube channel, to go from 150 to 600 is quite frankly nuts to me. It's a huge deal, considering we're not doing daily content. So it wouldn't be that case. It wouldn't have been anywhere near this successful if it wasn't for the awesome panel that makes the show what it is. So yeah, but thank you, Toolman, man, for breaking that down and being with us tonight. It's a real pleasure. We were going to have CJ UK join us, but he's had a bit of a family, an unexpected family celebration that he was kind of thrown into, so he unfortunately can't make it. But it is what it is. You got to understand these things, and family first always. So shout out to him. But yeah, let's get on with the rest of the panel. Mr. Oti, how are you, my dude? Besides exhausted and underweight and completely worn down from, but yet blessed for being a new dad with a new baby girl.
Yeah,
Congrats.
I was telling Wooly on the podcast before the show started that when I got my baby girl, I was
Oh
I
shit!
was 90.
My dudes,
Oh,
I'm
what's
an
that?
idiot. I'm an absolute idiot. OT, how could I be so
Yeah.
stupid? I was on autopilot.
What?
I haven't done your
What?
intro video, guys.
Oh,
How could I fail? How could I?
I
Right,
wanted
I
to
forgot.
mention that. I wanted to mention that.
I'm
That
such a
intro's
freaking
fabulous.
idiot.
Such a
Right,
fabulous intro.
right. Before OT continues speaking,
Man.
guys, we've got a little something for you. It has to be done. So sorry, OT, that I didn't do it sooner.
Oh man, I forgot myself.
Exhausted. You forgot as well. But I
You
feel
guys,
better
man,
now. I'm exhausted. And
I have
just forgot.
gin.
All right, okay. Let's do this, guys. Check this out.
What a thrill, with darkness and silence through the night. What a thrill, I'm searching and I'll melt into you. What a fear in my heart, but you're so supreme.
And there's the theme.
In my time, there'll be no one else. Crime, it's the way I fly to you. I'm still
Hell to the yeah. Oh my days. I can't get my head around that. How awesome is that, my dudes?
Beautifully perfect.
Oh, it's
beautifully perfect.
It's just an absolute visual spectacle. His first one was this Ghost of Tsushima inspired intro, and this one is Metal Gear Solid. And I tell you, tell you, it was MGS3 inspired, and OT knows that's my favorite game of all time. It's getting me emotional now. The music, the art style that you've done, OT. My brother, you just...
Hello?
Can you hear me?
Sorry, it's botting a little bit. Hello?
Hello. Is it still botting?
You guys can hear me?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, can hear you loud and clear. I'll text you. Hold on. I think OT's...
You guys can hear me? Hey, you guys can hear?
Yeah. We can hear you. You okay?
Sorry, it had it had disconnected for a little bit.
All right, no worries. We can still hear you, brother. But yeah, thank you, mate, my dude. You're just awesome. Honestly, love you to bits, bro. Thank you for that.
Man, you know the funny thing about Twitter is it's like inspired me to try things I've never done before, because these videos I never knew how to do them last year November, and you just try, and that's the beauty of the community. They just encourage you, and they motivate you, and then you find yourself doing things you never thought you could do. So I'd like to thank everybody, because Wooly encouraged me and the community did. So I'm turning 40 next year, and I feel like I'm going through a renaissance in my life. I feel like a teenager with a blank canvas, So I just want to do things, and I just thank everyone.
You look phenomenal for 40, brother. But honestly, bro,
you have to stay fit with weed, man.
Yeah, man, 100%. But I honestly, like, that means a lot, OT. For those who don't know, OT actually came to be on Twitter by stumbling across one of my YouTube videos. I mean, it's just such a good story. OT, you need to break this down for us, my guy. You need to share this with people.
You know what happened? I remember last year I was getting so frustrated because I used to listen to the RDX crew every week and used to get mad. And I was like, why is there no counter to what these guys are saying? And then I ended up on I used to follow Crap Gamer. And I still follow Crap Gamer, and then I somehow ended up on Wooly's show. And I think you were were you on the train or you were walking? I can't remember.
I was on the train.
And you broke it down. Like your points were so logical. And I said, I need to follow. So everybody kept on talking about follow me on Twitter. So finally, that's how I got on Twitter. I followed you, and for some reason you responded back to. I don't know how you. I think I never thought you would be humble enough to respond to guys like me. I had nothing, no followers, no anything, but you are so kind. So I really appreciate. And you know what that has taught me? On Twitter, I like following guys with very few followers, because you end up finding a lot of these guys are so genuine, they're so cool, and have formed such good relationships with a lot of guys who have very few followers. So I know some guys say, no, don't follow the guys with very few people or followers, but some of the best connections I've made have been because of the way you treated me. I treat others the same way now.
Damn, that's amazing, bro. Thank you. Yeah, honestly, Twitter's all the better for it. I remember telling you you were dead. Speaking of humble, you were dead humble. You were like, I kept encouraging you to post a video because I loved your takes, because I think we think alike, and that's maybe why you resonated with my videos, and then I resonated with your posts, and what you typed made so much sense to me. I was like, Oti, you gotta start making videos, man. People would love you. Show your face and speak your mind. And you were so shy and humble about it. You're like, you didn't want to, you didn't feel comfortable, but eventually you did it. And
for months.
In one night, in 24 hours, 800 people followed you.
Oh yeah. It was crazy. It was crazy.
Nuts. But yeah. What have you been playing lately, Oti?
Battlefield, FIFA. It's mainly been Battlefield and FIFA, and I bought some other game the other day. It reminded me of Micro Machines. I've forgotten the name. But my friends keep on insisting I'm the only guy who has a PS5, and they wanted to see what FIFA looks like on PS5. So I've not bought FIFA in probably 22 years. So I finally bought FIFA. It's actually, this FIFA 22 is not bad, I'm not gonna lie. And Battlefield, for me, I'm addicted. It's just that I have not been having enough time this week because of work. But I'm hoping next week I'll have a lot more time for Battlefield. We need to do a tag team, me, you, and Social, man.
Big facts. Yeah, 100%. Need to get that down. Yeah, next thing you'll know, OT's going to be playing Fortnite.
No.
FIFA, what next? Fortnite? I'm joking. No, but that's awesome. So, on to Akira. How are you doing, buddy?
Yeah, I'm doing great. I'm playing DNF Duel right now. There's beta. This is a new fighting game by Arc System Works and A-Ting. Arc System Works did Guilty Gear Strive, Dragon Ball FireZ, and A-Ting did Marvel vs. Capcom 3. It's a South Korean IP, 16 years old, very successful, and now they made a fighting game out of it, and I'm having the time of my life with it. It's fucking amazing. Playing it right now as I'm talking. And and I Platinum Tales of Arise. Like I said, if Lost Judgment didn't release this year, it's my game of the year. Fucking amazing game. And and yeah, right now, after the end of Duel, I don't know what I'm gonna play next. To be honest, I'm looking for what to play next. But I'm doing great, doing really great.
That's awesome.
Absolutely.
That's awesome, my dude.
Thanks, guys.
In response to
Also, sorry, great video, OT, as always. Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
Thanks, Akira.
Yeah, awesome stuff. Glad you're loving the game, my dude. Shout out to oh shit, I'm taking up way too much of my bandwidth. I was streaming my YouTube live feed at 1440p. Well, that's gonna affect things. Sorry, I've fixed it now. In response to Lee Gaming, yeah, we'll definitely be talking about that Forbes article at some point as well. Shit's crazy.
Some bullshit.
I don't know.
Sorry.
I don't how. Who's paying these guys? Because it sure as hell seems fishy to me. Honestly, it's crazy.
At least they're getting paid to console war, right?
100%.
Not like the others on Twitter.
That's a good point. At least they're getting paid doing it.
Getting paid to console war.
Gotta respect the hustle, ain't you? For those who don't know, I'm playing this pretty awesome dragon game. It's free to play on Steam. I can't even remember what it's called. How bad is that? But I'll figure it out. David Jaffe posted a video on it, and it got me intrigued. And it's pretty awesome. Would recommend it.
Wait, when you say dragons, like what? You're flying with a dragon, or?
Yeah, you're riding a dragon, fighting other dragons. It's amazing.
Isn't that the? I think I know what that is. Yeah. Alright.
It's really cool.
Nice.
Shout out to Wilhelm. What's good, my dude?
Doing good. Glad to be back. Unfortunately, the week before I wasn't there because I spent some time with the family at the village and all. And the funny thing is, I tuned in real quick into the episode of last week, to see how my boys are doing, and some of the panel members were missing, so of course it's the host's job to touch upon that. You were saying, DZ isn't there and OT's AFK, but Wilhelm, no idea who that is.
Bro, I'm so sorry. Did I not include you?
Not as far as I know. I saw the beginning and I only heard OT's in there and DZ.
Oh, Will. Man, I'm heartbroken, dude. I'm so sorry. It's
fine.
It's not fine. It's not good enough. I'm sorry. But on a positive note, bro, I told Saltiest Gaming about you. And he searched you up, so he'll be in touch to have you come on his show.
Oh my god, I got finally getting work. I'm getting more work. Finally,
work.
My days at the cold parking lot are over.
I love it, my dude.
I have work.
Well, I thought you were head of PlayStation Studios, but
man.
I swear, after David Jaffe told me that I missed a great opportunity of doing those prank phone calls, I have to absolutely agree with him. Oh my god, I would kill to do such phone calls.
You need to start impersonating Herman Hulst because you've got the accent.
Oh, I'm Herman Hulst, and I have to say I'm not that impressed with God of War Ragnarok.
Yeah,
I've invested in Microsoft Studios, and I absolutely believe in Phil Spencer.
Willem, you need to use this voice commercially. We need to do videos with you, by the way.
Yeah, we do.
We can make money off your voice.
I reckon you could do a mean Arnold Schwarzenegger impression. Honestly.
Yeah, you mean like put that cookie down?
Yeah, put it down.
Put it down.
Exactly, man.
Man, what the... Hey, bro. What the hell? Alright.
That's funny.
Oh, man.
That's funny.
God.
Akira sounds like he's losing. Right. Okay. We got Cesar Exposito on the panel, I believe, or he's disappeared now. Was he joined us? Caesar, if you're still here, my dude, and you're listening, and you wanted to jump on, by all means, do so, bro. I saw you pop in, and then you popped out. But if you wanna jump back in, you're more than welcome. Don't be shy. It'd be great to have you. But yeah. Right, so let's get on with the main topic, my dudes. Horizon Forbidden West. This beast. I just wanted us to, I don't know, have a bit of a kind of a focus on this, because I think it deserves some real attention. And just break this stuff down. Down, as Wilhelm would say.
Oh, God.
Right, so
Hey, guys, this Arnold Schwarzenegger thing you got going on. Jeez.
Right.
Jesus Christ, bro.
Moving on. Right, yeah, fair enough. Let's get this trailer up. Whilst we're talking about it, it's only fitting, right? This was the first of 2 recent trailers revealed, and you know, I put unprecedented immersion, unparalleled visuals, and untold excitement, and I posted a little poll up top. How excited are you for Forbidden West? Are you 10 out of 10 level excitement? Are you 11 out of 10? Hard to describe level of excitement. Or are you, it's over 9,000 out of 10 level excitement? 55% have posted that they are 10 out of 10. 32% have posted it's over 9,000. And 12% have described themselves as 11 out of 10 out of 40 votes. 40, bloody hell! That's amazing. So it's safe to say, unfortunately, there's no negative options there. Buck Roger, shout out to him. He was very upset about that because he did not like the first game at all. And I can empathise. The first game, for me, could have been better. Wasn't a huge fan, but Forbidden West, man, it's doing something to me, right? I can feel it in my ghoulies. It's got me excited, and I just wanted to kind of get the panel and discuss with the panel and have you guys share your thoughts in the chat. What is it about this game that excites you the most? How do you feel about what we've seen in terms of visually about the game, and what have they done to improve the levels of immersion, and have they done enough? Because I don't know, I've still got my reservations. I've still got my concerns. I really hope that my concerns are kind of addressed, and I find out I didn't need to be concerned after all. But let's kind of go for a bit of a systematic breakdown of these trailers and just talk about it. That's kind of the thing of tonight, my dudes. I'm on the title screen. What does he mean? Twisted Sin. You need to explain. You've got me intrigued. Twisted Sin.
Oh, Wooly, what he means is the post which you put on Twitter to show I don't know the image which you had created. That's what's on the show. Maybe he wants to see footage of Horizon as we talk about it.
Oh,
maybe.
of course. Yeah, let's do that. Let's do that right now. Great shout. Sorry, Twisted. I'm not with it tonight.
Sorry, guys. Do you hear me right now?
Hey, Caesar. How are you, my dude?
Hi.
Good.
Well, thank you. What about the rest of you? Sorry for interrupt
No, you
like
didn't
that.
interrupt. No, you didn't interrupt it. It was nice that you felt you could jump on. It's just we're having a bit of a chilled stream tonight, where it's a bit more informal and people just get to see the eye candy that is Horizon as we discuss it. But yeah, I'm good. How about you, my dude? What have you been playing?
I recently finished Kina,
Oh, nice. I still yet to finish that.
and now I don't know. I think I was going to play the first Horizon because I committed a big mistake with my PS4 when I changed to PS4 Pro, and I was sure that I have the PS Plus subscription, but I didn't. And when I did the change, I lost all the progress of the game, and I was really close to the end. I have to start from the very beginning. So I would like to end the game before playing the new one. So I'm thinking of playing that.
Yeah, no, that would be cool. Enjoy, my dude. So, should we play this a little slower? I've taken loads of screenshots as well, some decent close-ups of Aloy's face and just different still shots of this game. But how excited are you for Forbidden West, my dude? What would you say?
Me?
Yeah. Well, all of you.
Okay, okay. I think they address a lot of things that were not so good on the first one, like the combat with other NPCs. And graphically, I've been seeing a side-by-side comparative recently with the first one and this second one, and I think there's a big improvement in everything, graphics and gameplay mechanics, a lot of things. All that verticality add with the fact that you can now dive into the sea and that sort of thing.
Mhm. Yeah, big facts. What about you, OT? What are your thoughts on how excited are you?
Oh man, I'm very excited. When I first played Horizon Zero Dawn, I found the graphics to be amazing, but it didn't hook me until I got to the halfway point. So initially, I had played the game and I put it down after a while. I was also going through. I had torn my Achilles tendon, but when I tore my Achilles tendon, I had time to play. So when I finished that game, I can honestly say in the PS4 generation, it is my favorite story that I have played. The way they wrote that story was incredible. The beginning took a bit of time because the hand-to-hand combat when you're facing people was very basic. I didn't like when Aloy faces another human, but when she faces the beasts, that's when it was incredible. And the scenery. So that's what I did. I used to just quickly go and try and find every dinosaur, every beast I could find, rather than even progress with the story. So in this game, I am sure now they have perfected with the things where I thought they were weak in the last game. So narratively, graphically, they were very good. And when it came to the combat with the beasts, they were excellent. But the weak points for me were hand-to-hand combat with normal human beings, and also the cities didn't have that liveliness or natural human behavior I would have liked. And the way the cities were also, maybe they could have designed them a bit differently. But I see they have resolved all the issues. So this is I'm more excited for this than God of War.
Oh wow.
Me too.
Yeah, I am too.
What is it that sticks out to you, Toolman, that separates this game from its predecessor, and also why are you more hyped for this, like OT? than say God of War. Is this a big
Well, I guess-
evolution over Horizon Zero Dawn than Ragnarok looks to be?
I think it is, yeah. Now
Yeah.
that's me saying I still have not finished God of War. I found, not to veer off topic, but just for a few moments, I've found God of War, people talk about, game of the generation, even Xbox podcasts that I listen to, people talk about like dealer gaming. He talked about, he's a big Xbox gamer, big personality, but he gives credit to God of War. He said, this is the best game ever made, 2018. He said, this is the best game by far. And, maybe it's just because I haven't leveled everything up or I'm still learning the mechanics of it. But it doesn't draw me in like Horizon did. But like I told you, Wooly, and Akira before the show started, I'm a big Destiny player, and I kind of was breaking up with Destiny, trying to get away from that of being on it every night and try new things. So it took me a good year, kind of to your point, OT, of drawing me in. But it took me a year of making myself play something like this. But I've never played an RPG, a big open world game. I was just Destiny person, and um, it took me a while. But one of my coworkers, my friend at work, Rogan, he is an Xbox guy, but he said, my favorite game on PlayStation's Horizon Zero Dawn. He said, if you get a chance, play it. He said, so it took me a good year and talking back and forth with him every day at work. And slowly it took me, kind of like you said, I had to get to a certain point of learning the skill trees and all this stuff. And I can see where some people say, like some of the flaws in the game, which every game has that, nothing's perfect to an extent. But it was probably after that first year, I took a break from Destiny, of even playing it at all and giving other games a try. And I got into this game. And it was kind of that, like you said, OT, that halfway point. I finally started learning how everything worked and leveling stuff up and really started getting back into the story, trying to complete it. And um, I did get the platinum on it I looked it up, September 20th of this year. I finally got it done and got it beaten. I felt like a sense of accomplishment there, not just because I got a platinum trophy, but it was just, I've always been that kind of person, even Destiny, about going and trying to find everything, try to do everything you can. And so in this game, being my first open world game that I ever played and beat, um, it was super exciting. But E3, or not, well, not this E3, but the showcase from last year when they showed off Forbidden West there, I was blown away by it. And then at E3 this year, when they showed the new enemies, they showed the new world, that it's even bigger than this open world. And this open world is so vast. I don't know how many of you are in the chat have played. It was a big game at the time. It was uh, Anthem was hyped up.
Mm-hmm.
And me and my friends, we played that game and we got into it, and it was so broken during the beta. But we loved it because it was something you could jump into, play with your friends, play solo or co-op. And it was just so bad because it was just like the catchword is the biomes. But in this one, when I finally got into playing this game fully, how vast and how much detail there is in just the environments of going from, just this part of the map to this part of the map, how it changes drastically, and just the sounds and the animations. I mean, I fell in love with the game. And then what I'm seeing here, what you're showing here, Wooly, and the stuff that Grill has put out, it's just that snake. I mean, that snake is just badass looking to me. I mean, it's just
Yeah, look at that bad boy.
awesome.
Look
I mean,
at
it's
this.
just, but like the first time I fought one of the, I think it's the rock crushers, the ones that burrow underground and they come up.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, there were so many times I fought different parts on this game where I spent an hour or two fighting it. Yeah, but that's me. I never played games like these, so it was more of a learning curve for me. Took me a while, but I really enjoyed Horizon Zero Dawn. I remember playing the Killzone games before they made this. So yeah, I'm just a big fan of Guerrilla Games and what they're doing, and they're just super talented. So um,
Yeah, for real. No, I agree. Did you say something, OT?
No,
sorry,
no, 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 no.
I
I didn't mention.
Sorry, my bad. I thought I heard you saying like you were trying to speak. My apologies. See, I kind of struggled with, but something that you said, OT, intrigued me about the story. I need to go back and play Horizon Zero Dawn again, so I'm going to be buying it for my PC.
Oh,
And I'm going to be playing through it again. To try and enjoy the story, and get myself ready for Forbidden West in February. But I mean, the more I look at this trailer that I've been playing repeatedly now, over and over for the past, at least the past few minutes, it's blowing my mind, dude. Like the level of detail we're seeing.
that's Snake right now. Like this.
Yeah, it's.
I have to say, I still haven't played the first Horizon Zero Forbidden West, due to me having a big boomer shooter phase, playing games like the original Doom, Duke Nukem, and Quake, and I still need to catch up on some of those games. Like, I still haven't played the original Shadow Warrior, and I still haven't played Blood. I still haven't played, some of the games from the boomer shooter revival, games like Dusk and such. And currently I'm trying to catch up on some of the other older titles that are very highly guarded. I'm trying to catch up on Half-Life and Metal Gear, so uh, couldn't didn't at the time, checking up some more recent games. But I gotta have to say, what I've seen from the first game, I think it does look fun, and I think the second game looks even better because it seems to be the first game just even grander, even more grandiose, and I gotta say, what I've seen so far in the trailer does have me very excited because even though it's a cross-gen title, it looks incredible. Like, it looks very, very beautiful and just breathtaking. And some of these creatures, like that big snake clenching itself to that rock or whatever that is. It looks super exciting. Like, I gotta say that title does have me filled up with serotonin, man. I gotta say.
Yeah, man, for real. I actually made a post on Twitter about the ocean here that you see here. I'll show you. I don't know why my screen capture seems a little blurry at the moment. I apologize, guys. I'll try and get that fixed. But basically, the ocean shown here has
incredible.
it has bubbles, my dude, and the bubbles are 3D. Whether I don't know whether it's geometry. I mean, shout out to Keanu Reeves on Twitter. He's not literally Keanu Reeves, but he calls himself Keanu Reeves. He's a big Keanu Reeves fan. But he's a quite a well-educated gentleman on Twitter. He's in a similar vein to Leviathan Gamer, and he's quite objective. And yeah, when he chips in, it's usually a value. And he mentioned it's not geometry, but it's likely the same rendering techniques that they utilize in PS4's Ratchet, his fur, which is utilizing what do you call it? Shell
This
textures?
is just I'm not sure, but I do this also. So what happens is when you're trying to do this using 3D animation software, it's tessellation. But they could be using another technique because, at the end of the day, you can use many techniques to arrive at the same thing. But if you look at Demon Souls and you look at their interview with the Digital Foundry, one of the reasons Demon Souls looks so good is because the textures are not flat. They actually tessellate. So if you look there, you can see the geometry is popping. It's popping up. So they have a displacement layer that shows, okay, the foam needs to be higher than the regular sea. So they tessellate that section. So that's what they've done that's what I suspect they've done in this. That's giving it that rich, frothy, foamy feel. And it requires more power. Because when you tessellate many objects, it definitely requires more power. But at the end, the thing that I love about Gorilla has always seemed like a very hungry studio. The Naughty Dog asked Herman Hulst after Horizon Zero Dawn launched and said, "How did you manage to get this game to look that good, yet it's open world?" Because Naughty Dog are very good in confined spaces, but their engine has never been tested in an open world. Gorilla went and took that challenge to the extreme. So right now, I was looking at Red Dead Redemption 2, and I was looking at Horizon Forbidden West. What I'd say is, when you look at immediate detail to mid-range detail, Horizon Forbidden West is the most beautiful open world game ever made. But I would say if you look at mid to far distant, I think Red Dead is the most beautiful open world game ever made. So Gorilla focus on the near detail to perfection. But if you look at Red Dead Redemption and you go and look at a stone, it doesn't really look so good when you look at it in detail. But when you look at the panorama on top of a mountain, you're like, oh my god, So the two engines are focusing on different levels of detail. I think Decima engine is the absolute best when it comes to in terms of open world games, from very close detail to mid, and then Rockstar lead from mid to far distance.
Yeah.
Gorilla has always been wizards on that field. You remember still Killzone 2. That game still looks like absolutely incredible. Like, I still can't believe it came out over a decade ago.
It looks better than Halo.
It does in some way.
Yeah.
It does, man.
But if those bubbles you were showing in the water, if that's the level of detail, if that's what we're getting a year after the generation has started,
and this is just a cross-gen game. I mean,
what are we going to get in 2 years, 6 years towards the end of the generation? I mean, it's mind blowing.
Yeah, it's to me, like, we covered cross-gen. I think it was episode 2 or episode 1 of the Company Gamers podcast. Does cross-gen really matter? And we explained that, for the first 2 to 3 years of a console's life, devs are just learning, experimenting, and trying and testing, pushing, teasing the system, figuring it out, figuring out efficient shortcuts, efficient bypasses, and ways to overcome obstacles. And so during cross-gen, during those 2-3 years, it's by the by whether it's next-gen only or cross-gen, whether the system is pushing kind of cross-gen titles or next-gen only titles, because the next-gen only titles won't really be anywhere near as next-gen as the games are going to get further down the line. Look at the PS4. Look at what they did towards the end of the generation compared to what they gave us at the start of this generation. Yeah, same with the PS3. We were getting Uncharted 3 and The Last of Us and Metal Gear Solid 4. Whereas at the start, Warhawk and Medal of Honor and kind of lower tier visual experiences. So for us to be this early on in this generation and to be seeing visuals of a cross-gen game that rival next-gen only titles is, quite frankly, in my opinion, nuts and so impressive. And what I love about this trailer here, this trailer that we're showing here, is it tells a story. I mean, look at this, right? OT mentioned this as well, and so did Toolman, about the birds here. Well, I don't know what they're called. What are these birds called?
Sunbirds.
Sorry?
Or sun. I think it's sunwings. I think.
Sunwings, yeah. They've got solar panels here on their wings, if you notice, and so they're soaking up the sun in the morning to start their day. I mean, there's a level of world building that I'm hoping brings more immersion to this sequel than the first game. Because my biggest gripe with the first game, or my biggest gripes, were three things. Traversal. The traversal was very limited. You couldn't even jump up a ledge, clamber up a ledge, unless there was a specified interactable grip that was specifically placed there. The foliage would not interact with you dynamically as you walked through them, and although that didn't seem to be resolved in the first showing of Horizon Forbidden West, I have reached out but not yet received a response as to whether that issue will be fixed with Forbidden West PS5 version, whether the foliage will interact with the player, even the small foliage, because that to me is a big issue with immersion. I think you can get lost in the world if the world feels real around you, and for me with Horizon Zero Dawn, it just didn't. The foliage wasn't interacting with me, and there was relatively easily clamberable rocks that I couldn't climb up because there was no basic traversal option other than if it's a specified ledge, programmed into the game. And what was the third option? Enemy. Although combat AI was good, really good. The way that the AI interacted with the world around it, they were just kind of waiting there, walking around in little circles, and it's kind of to me, I have the same issue with Halo Infinite. The enemies are just there in little pools, not really giving two shits about the environment they're in, not really aware of anything around them, just waiting for you. And to me, it makes the world feel quite dead and stagnant. But what they're showing here is, they're more like living creatures now than just enemies to fight, if that makes sense. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. That's one of the problems I had. Video games always tend to have the enemies behave like dummies. They just walk left, right, and it sort of takes you away from the game. But I think Last of Us 2 did it so well. The way the enemies would interact with the environment, I nearly felt like I was killing a living being. I've never felt so. It was visceral. The enemies in Last of Us 2 were the closest I've felt to killing a digital human being. And when I read what type of detail Horizon Forbidden West is trying to do, the thing is, Sony studios are competing with each other. They are looking at the AI systems that they did in Last of Us and saying, okay, I need to do this in an open world game, even though my resources are limited. I need to find a way. So I was reading what these guys are doing. Like if you go into a village in Horizon Forbidden West, you'll find, let's say you find a person carrying water. In the peaceful villages, they may carry the water on their head from the river. But in the more aggressive war kind of villages, they may carry it next to their chest, with a spear on one hand, something like that. So the detail they're going into making the characters interact in a natural way with the environment is fantastic, because it will keep you rooted into the game. And these were some of the weaknesses of Zero Dawn. So even though Zero Dawn is a very special game to me, I really appreciate where Forbidden West is going in terms of making the AI that much more advanced.
For real, yeah. See, a lot of people are pointing to this one scene to indicate that they have overhauled the foliage to interact with Aloy. I'm still skeptical, because as you can see, the foliage is blowing right and left and right, and it's moving there as she, regardless, even when she's quite far away from it. I'll pause it right. Now take a look here.
Pops back
Right,
up.
take a look where my mouse is right now and watch as I play it. See that? See that then? That brush then? See, that to me isn't convincing me that was Aloy, but it was actually just the wind. Unless it's delayed physics interaction at half speed, half frame, like how they clock AI at a lower count per second than on old gen consoles than new gen. Similarly, whether they've done that with the physics, where the physics based kind of processes are carried out at a slower rate to the rest, I don't know, but it's either delayed or that's just the wind. And so I'm still a bit skeptical, and for me, I know it sounds petty, but it's kind of a big deal to me. I'm still seeing all the foliage clip through Aloy with very little movement, and I really hope that that's fixed or just not really the case in the final product, because I know that they implemented physics-based vegetation on the PC version of Horizon Zero Dawn. So surely, by any man's logic, they'll be implementing those physics for the world of Horizon Forbidden West on PS5. At least I hope so. But that's my pet peeve. Shout out to the general Iffy. I don't know why he's got General Iffy or Generalify. He's the bus drivers on Twitter. He's a good friend of mine. MG Swag on PSN. It's good to see you here, my dude. Dello Mio means family, so shout out to you, brother. Great that you're here. But yeah, that's my main concern, guys. I mean, is that a concern to you guys? Are you really kind of in that boat that I'm in, where vegetation interaction or vegetation physics, flora physics is a quite a big deal to you guys, or?
A piece definitely with you.
It really is with me. I don't know why. It just really makes me feel more solid in the world. Like I'm really there. And I don't feel a disconnect. But I don't know whether for most people it's not even a thought. What do you guys think?
Well, I of course appreciate that sort of detail, and of course it does help strengthen the immersion, And when it's there, I definitely admire it, but it's not that much of a deal breaker to me,
Mm-hmm. Yeah. What about you, Caesar?
I think it would be desirable, but it's not a deal for me. And I understand, and it's not. I'm not 100% sure about this, but being a cross-gen title, I know the PS5 have the CPU power to run all those physics but not the PS4. So maybe they made that choice of not doing, because there's tons of different kind of vegetation, and having that interaction, I understand it's not, it's not an easy task. Aside of the work that the extra work that this could supposed. So having a PS5 version so different from the PS4, maybe they think it could upset some people. I don't know. I'm just guessing. But I'm 100% sure PS5 can handle all this physics, but PS4 sure it's not capable, because then we all know how limited those CPUs are, and I think maybe because of that, there's already, and they have explained it, some difference between the PS5 and the PS4 version. And for example, all the physics underwater are not present on the PS4 version, and I think this is a big deal for the PS4 players. So imagine everything is on that level of, I don't know. I think maybe it's because of that.
Yeah.
We'll need to wait to PS5 only version of games.
Yeah. Shout out to peeps in the chat saying Wooly's pixel peeping. Yeah, I know I sound really petty, almost embarrassingly so. I think it's a weird one, for me.
Yeah, but for me, I guess I'm somewhere in between. I can understand where Will is coming from. For me, because it's cross-gen, I'm not sure they will do it for all the plants, but it definitely can be done by the PS5. And I think even to some degree, maybe even the PS4, because if you look at Red Dead, I think Red Dead, the plants do react. I'm not 100% sure, but I think they do. No, they do. My only issue is if they're not going to do it for all plants, then they need to do it for the big ones, because if you pass through the big ones, it's very noticeable, but the small shrubs, or let me say the small grass, it might not really be so noticeable, but the big ones. Now, I noticed in the previous demo that they had made the bigger plants a little more interactive, like the grass, you see it part. But I think Wooly is right. Now, the only issue is, will they have enough time to do it before? Because the truth is, this game was based on PS4 hardware. Immediately they finished Zero Dawn, they went straight into Forbidden West. So there are so many aspects of how they made the models that might not have taken into consideration PS5. But you see, now they've told us which elements they've now decided, water rendering, they need to make sure it's it uses PS5's power, but I never saw them mention plants, so I wouldn't be so optimistic. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah, I mean, I can forgive it, because, like you guys say, it is a cross-gen game, but also, and also with the environments being so beautiful, the landscapes, wanting to go over there, like you see somewhere and you want to go there, and the traversal being overhauled itself. But it's all about the journey, man, and the journey to those locations needs to feel, for me,
visceral, huh?
Visceral, yeah. And I just, for me, it's a really big deal. I don't know. It just really is. Maybe it's an Asperger's thing. Maybe it's the autism in me. I don't know. But
but it's okay.
I do.
It does look so realistic. It might seem odd that you're passing through some big plant and it's not moving. That's why I hope at least the big ones, because I can forgive the small ones, but the big ones, it'll also
Yeah.
get me out of the immersion.
Yeah. No, I agree. The big ones will hopefully move, but I hope that also that applies to the small ones as well. Now this is only in 1080p. No wonder the stream quality is pretty poor. Let me see if I can fix that. Whether there's a 1440p or 2160p stream of these environments, because they look incredible. Do you remember the pre-reveal where the environments were shown, the biomes? Do you guys remember that, like 6 months ago?
Mhm.
Yeah. They are absolutely stunning.
Bro.
There are no environments that touch Horizon. It's just insane.
Yeah, and it's them environments that are just like, I just want to go there, man. I just can't wait. So yeah, what's your take on the character model of Aloy? Have you seen a subtle change? Like, I noticed that she was facing a lot of criticism with her look by a lot of the fanboy community. Do you think Guerrilla actually took on board these fanboy arguments that Aloy's put on weight, that she's not feminine? Because that was a trending criticism. Not even a criticism. I think it was pretty stupid, to be honest. But I've noticed she's pretty feminine in this new trailer. If you ask me, like,
maybe this is like that this game maybe plays inside multiple time frames. One part maybe takes place in sort of like the present, and then the other part is like in the past. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Like three full chapters in a sense.
that'd be pretty cool. I mean, look at this costume that Aloy's wearing. This red costume. Like, that's like, I don't know, that's some sexy stuff. It's, she's in looks like a superhero costume.
Sorry.
Go on, mate.
I know when that first came out, and had people on social media talking about that. You could see a difference, and it was in that opening sequence where she was, consulting with the guy there that was hurt, and her face was fuller looking. Then you see all the memes of all that. But I talked with my friend at work. We got to talking. And it's like, a lot of people don't want to, when they got something they like, they don't want to lose it. But also in this is a continuation of the original game, and Aloy's, she's getting older. She's not presumably, I don't know if she's still 17 in this right here, but she's in a harsh environment, so naturally, if they're going to depict that she's going to show signs of getting older, of whether it be dirt on her face or wrinkles or just beaten up by robotic animals and the environment. And I think Guerrillas did a good job of addressing that. And in these recent ones, I mean, she looks outstanding. She's just a warrior. I mean, that's what a warrior is, and she doesn't take crap from anybody. And so
I agree, man.
yeah.
I agree. I gotta admit though, I'm excited about these costumes, dude. I think the look of these costumes, like, I think here she looks like Charlize Theron. I mean, she looks really, really good in this little clip here. I mean,
I won't lie. She looks like the first thing that came to mind. No, and I'm not disrespecting the game, but when I saw that red costume, the first thing I thought was air hostess. I don't know why.
Hey, it's a sexy costume, bro. She's got a bit of sex appeal to her now. I mean, I've never considered Aloy to be a looker. I've never really considered her to be a character that I personally find attractive. And yes, people, you get these people who pretty unintelligently go, "Can't believe you're talking about fake, non-existent characters like being sexy. Oh my, like how sad are you?" But I mean, don't tell me that you didn't think Jessica Rabbit wasn't sexy when you first saw her 20 years ago in Who Framed Roger Rabbit. I mean, come on. I don't give two shits whether she's real or not, whether she's cartoon or photorealistic. You know, there's you can find fictional cartoons or CGI or whatever
She
characters.
was excellent.
Attractive. Yeah, exactly.
She was excellent.
Although I have to admit, Who Framed Roger Rabbit scarred me with nightmares, because the moment Jessica Rabbit turned into that crazy bunny boiler, it honestly it scared the shit out of me, and I mean like scared the shit out of me. Like, I don't know why, and it's still to this day. If I see a clip of it, it gives me goosebumps and shivers, and I feel cold. It's not good. It's scarred me, bro. But yeah, I mean, Aloy here looks pretty good in my opinion. She's got this feminine movement to her. The way she moves is very graceful, very Catwoman-like in my opinion. Like, I always liked the way she climbed in the first game, although I wasn't a huge fan of the game. I liked the way that she jumped and leapt from ledges to ledges in a very cat-like way, and they've definitely kept that gracefulness in this game and added to it in how she moves, and I love that.
You know, when I'm looking at these games, I still remember, you know, we should really be thanking Naughty Dog for what they did, because Naughty Dog just set Sony in the right path. Uncharted and Uncharted 2. I remember these guys, Sucker Punch, said Uncharted 2 changed their whole way of looking at game in terms of what they need to achieve, and they've been constantly chasing that narrative brilliance of Uncharted 2, and that's how they ended up with Infamous and Infamous 2. And if you read when the developers were discussing how they were trying to get the most out of the PS3, Uncharted 2 was the inspiration. But if you look at Horizon Forbidden West, you can really see that these Killzone guys must have also been affected by Uncharted. You know, it's like Sony has just gone in this narrative direction, and I think Uncharted 2 is really the genesis of this. So it's like, I just wanted to give a shout out to these Naughty Dog guys, man. We wouldn't be looking at this right now if it was not for Uncharted 2 being so brilliant and setting Sony Studios in that narrative path.
Yeah, big facts, my dude. Big facts. Apologies to everyone who got shocked by a close-up of Richard Ledbetter's face. I know that wasn't necessarily as pleasant as Aloy's. You have my apologies. It kind of, the video skipped over to Digital Foundry's breakdown of Horizon Forbidden West when it was given its first major reveal. There's the clip. There's the famous pose that everybody paused and said she doesn't look so hot. But I don't know. Like, I think it's a lot to do with the angles. But yeah, she looks great in my opinion. Aloy looks great. No, but I agree, OT, 100%. That's a fantastic point. You know, I think Naughty Dog really set the precedent for PlayStation. They hit something with the first Uncharted game. I loved that game so much, the first Uncharted, and Sony saw the potential of it and decided to take it further. And then when Uncharted 2 came along, it just revolutionized the gaming in space, to be honest. I mean,
Yeah.
it really did.
Also affected how the next Tomb Raiders.
Yeah.
It did.
Big
a lot.
Facts, 100%. So yeah, I mean, I think this game has the potential to be incredibly huge. I don't know if it's going to get critically the success it will deserve, because I don't know, from what I'm seeing, the critics seem to be, it's just from my own observations, a lot harsher on PlayStation games, because they expect more from PlayStation games than from Xbox games. I mean, Xbox are delivering games like Halo Infinite and the Gunk. I mean, even though, say what you want about Halo Infinite. I know it's got a lot of praise, and I'm about 10, 11, 12 hours into it. But whoever's defending the environments and the repetitive mission structure, because you don't understand Halo if you're criticizing those. Saying it's Halo isn't an excuse for repetitive mission structure. It just isn't. The world of Halo, the lore of Halo, doesn't require repetitive mission structure, so it's not, to me, a valid justification. And yet this game's getting like 9s and 10s. Yet it seems to me that YouTube personalities, and not journalists, are completely different. The more critical people, like G-Man Lives, Skill Up.
Shout out to G-Man.
Yeah, I love G-Man. He actually backed up my criticism of Halo and agreed with me.
Come to the show, G-Man.
He should. We might be getting NXG actually on the show soon, which would be incredible. Very excited about that, guys. Stay tuned. But like NXG as well. I mean, they're all unanimous. Jake Baldino, all unanimous with the criticisms of Halo, and yet we're seeing the media praise the shit out of that game, like they did with Deathloop, and it's just such a disconnect to me. I mean, I get if people are die-hard Halo fans, absolutely adore it and can forgive its many faults, but that doesn't stop its many faults from existing. And it's getting, 9s and 10s. I don't know if Horizon Forbidden West will receive the same kind of praise, despite its vastly superior environmental variety. I mean, that's just a fact. Its visuals, it's bound to have an amazing story. Obviously, Guerrilla are very good at their storytelling, as explained by OT with the first game. There's so much to Horizon Forbidden West that it has going for it. I can't not see it not receiving a huge critical acclaim. However, even if it doesn't, I'm pretty sure the community are going to speak on this one and speak with their wallet. I can see this probably being the biggest release of 2022, commercially speaking. But yeah, anything else you guys want to add?
Willie, I know this is a bit off topic, but I used to say, I was telling guys, and I got so much resistance from guys. I'm not saying Halo Infinite is a bad game, but the thing is, what is the standard of a 10 out of 10 game? When Red Dead Redemption gets a 10 out of 10, what do you expect? You expect sound, graphics, gameplay, story. There are so many things that combine to make a game 10 out of 10. Halo seems to be one game where there can be numerous weaknesses and someone gives it a 10 out of 10. At the same time telling you, hey, I don't think newcomers may enjoy this game as much. Oldcomers may not enjoy this game as much. But then that never used to be the narrative about Halo 1. That never used to be the narrative about Halo 2. Never used to be the narrative about Halo Reach. So for me, when I look at what God of War did to get a 10 out of 10, what Ghost of Tsushima had to do, Red Dead, and so many other games, Uncharted, they didn't get the easy route to a 10. So I don't know if if you could you just play Halo 2's trailer? There's a Halo 2 trailer just to remind guys of what magic. I remember I was telling you guys last week.
Announcement trailer,
Yeah, I nearly got beaten by my dad because he just bought me a PS2. But when I saw the Halo 2 trailer, I said, Jesus, please, Daddy, go and get me another Xbox. And he nearly beat the shit out of me. But that's what that trailer did. And I'm telling guys, Halo has not yet reached that peak. And guys are like, man, you're just hating. No. Even the guys who have played it, deep inside, they know this is not the peak of what, when I say peak, you must mean peak in relation to where technology has reached. Halo used to be a technological juggernaut. I don't know why people are pretending it wasn't. This Halo 2 trailer had graphical effects. They didn't even know. They had to name them. Bungie had to name them. That's how impressive this Halo 2 trailer was. So, for me, that's my issue with Halo. It just did not do everything I feel it needed to do to get a 10. Yet the media gives it a 10. And if you go and look at other games which have the similar faults, will not get a 10. So I think Halo just became a media darling, but in reality, it did not reach the peak it should have. Yeah. Just look at that.
Yeah, like absolutely with you there, OT. Like when the first two Halos came out, people were up and down about it. Like firstly you had the PlayStation crowd getting jealous at it because it was such an impressive looking game at the time, and it still is looking pretty damn impressive. And it's like a game, even though you wished it, your hardware can run it. Like a game like Halo, the PS2 could never run it. Even when PlayStation, even PlayStation was aware of the type of game Halo is, they tried to replicate it with the first Killzone, but it failed. And the PC crowd also started to grasp attention of it because FPS games are first home to PC consoles. They were PC consoles, yeah, exactly. PC systems. There is some console ports, but they weren't as prominent and they weren't as great as the PC counterparts. Games like Half-Life, Duke Nukem, Blood, Doom. Those are all PC titles. You've never had that kind of caliber of that game and that genre for a console. But then there it was, Halo. And it was such a technical marvel a marvel in general on so many levels, and then to see it like that nowadays, it's kind of like an actor, back in the 90s who was had a lot going for him, he was looking good, he was doing great and all. Now you see him washed up, he's getting he's just accepting money jobs. He's occasionally getting a role in a bigger, better movie, but mostly you see him just acting or sleepwalking through a B movie. It's kind of depressing to me. Like ever since Bungie gave up the IP, it seems to me just don't care. At least it's Halo. People are going to buy it and people are going to love it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, here's another trailer. There is a level of ambition that's just not there anymore. And it's a real shame. But yeah, I think standards have dropped huge, and the amount of I mean, I'm sorry, the picture's so bad. This is the best it's gonna get. This is an old video. But yeah, my dudes, it's like standards have dropped so much that the amount of hate that me and OT got for criticizing what we were seeing, and I've kept saying, you haven't played it. Well, I've been playing it. I've been playing Halo Infinite, and I can't get my head around the scores this game is getting. It's just like I just cannot get my head around it. It absolutely baffles me. There are two environments and two environments only playing throughout the whole game. But anyway, back on topic about Horizon Forbidden West. It's safe to say, guys, that this is one of my most anticipated games of 2022, and I really hope that it delivers everything that the first game did not. And the first game was great. For most people, it was absolutely incredible, and it has one of the best stories. For me, it didn't quite hit that level, but Gadget says, how's the foliage in Halo? Bro, what foliage? There's trees and there's a few trees here and there, but I mean, go on, sorry.
You mentioned Gadget there back when you were talking about the jump back to the topic of the foliage and interacting with Aloy. Gadget mentioned in the chat about the ray tracing for the PS5, and I remember watching a stream here. I think it was earlier this year, but it had a dev from Dirt 5 on there, and he was asked the question of can ray tracing be used for other assets in the game besides just ray tracing? And he said, yeah, you can use it for audio, you can use it for other types of functions in the game, not just strictly for ray tracing. So I think of the PS5 in general, even after like post-launch, if them said physics ain't there immediately, that could be something that Guerrilla gives an update, to the PS5. Seeing how it is a cross-gen game, but maybe to give a boost for the PS5 version. I mean, I don't know how all that stuff works, and if that's even reasonable, or if that's even a thing that you can do. But I know the option's there. Now, if it can be used on a PS4-based, created game, I'm not sure. But, we've seen the PS5 do, any of these new-gen systems do some pretty outstanding stuff. So
it's good. It's a good point. Maybe it'll be a post-release update, because maybe I can try and get up Horizon Forbidden West. Sorry, Horizon Zero Dawn. PC foliage.
Whenever that went to the PC, didn't we get a updated for the PS5? Didn't we get the updated 60 frames after launch of the PS5 for the PS4 version of Horizon? Yeah.
So this is showing off some of the foliage interaction, and it's pretty bare bones. The actual foliage interaction is funny. It's not really interaction at all. It's not physics-based interaction anyway. It's a warp effect. They implemented it in Gears 5 as well. Basically, Aloy has this little tiny ring of warp around her, and wherever she's going, it warp stretches the assets around this almost plug hole that's in the center of Aloy's character to make it appear like she's moving through it and it's going around her, but actually it's not. The only foliage that does move to her is this long grass here, but no, the foliage interaction is a little disappointing even in the PC version. It's just not ever been a massive priority for Guerrilla, and no, it's just something that would have been nice to see. It would be nice to see, but One day. I'm obsessing about foliage interaction like Wilhelm obsesses about Charlie Sheen. It's crazy.
I agree with you, Wooly. It would be really desirable, but Ochi was pointing about the Red Dead Redemption 2 and the physics that there is that interaction, and it's true, but there are a lot of physics happening here in this game that it's not happening, for example, on Red Dead Redemption, and at the end, it's the frame budget that you have in this game. In some at some points there are a lot of things happening with the machines, with all the effects of particles and everything, and I think well, it's my thought. I'm not sure of this, but the frame budget that they have for this game didn't allow them to implement all those physics also on the environment. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And at the end, Red Dead Redemption is a game that, well, there's shootings there. You know what I mean? And that's not the kind of effects that you can find on a game like like Horizon.
Yeah.
It's so at the end, you have a frame budget, you have a limited power on the CPU, and you cannot do everything.
Forbes Games
and most of all on a PS4 CPU. As I said, PS5 has a lot more power. It can do. We already seen, for example, the first game of Insomniac, Spider-Man Miles Morales. The amount of particles they achieved to get on the PS5 or that sort of thing. So there's a lot of room on the CPU of the PS5, but it's not in the PS4.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it is being held back. That's inevitable. But at the same time, you know, it's still, there is no denying just how freaking incredible the game looks. And I saw a tweet just earlier today, actually, about Horizon Forbidden West that I tweeted it out. I retweeted it, should I say, on my profile. I'll get it up now before we move on to the next topic. Here we go. Look at this, guys. Just look how incredible this looks. Look at this biome. Oh shit. It's low resolution, obviously, because it's uploaded to Twitter. But look at the complexity of that's going on. Like, you've got trees growing around this big old these big old chains, whatever they are, spanning off all the way into a distance, and the clouds just look insane. So yeah, it's impressive stuff. And I'm just really, really looking forward to exploring the incredible world. And just to think, guys, it's only a month away, really. Well, a month and a half, 2 months away, which is mind blowing. We've got so much to look forward to: Horizon Forbidden West, Gran Turismo 7, Forspoken, and yeah, the 4 minutes that was shown of Forspoken recently was very disappointing to me. But there are snippets of Forspoken that they have shown, little 4-second clips that look incredible. So I'm holding back my pessimism right now. I'm not going to judge it too early, before it's released. But yeah, I think we've kind of covered Horizon Forbidden West pretty well. tonight. Is unless there's anything else you guys have that you want to share about it before we cover just briefly this article that I just want to pick your brains about. People are mentioning it in the comments, and I agree. It's a hell of a take. A bit of a shit show that's common with journalism nowadays, especially gaming related journalism. Anything else you guys want to discuss about Horizon? All good?
I'm good.
Yeah.
All
Yeah.
good? Sweet. Okay. Hope you guys enjoyed
Yep.
that little deep
Horizon.
dive. Go on,
Sorry.
Akira.
Sure.
No, Horizon is a day one. That's it. It's a day one.
Yeah, man.
No question.
Right, so let's listen to this this Eric Kane, this geezer who has this take: Xbox is about to leave PlayStation in the dust in 2022. What's ironic as hell is that he had the exact same titled article
I'm
just
actually on a podcast. I've got a meeting.
just 6 months ago. He wrote an article with the exact same headline.
I'll get out here in a little while.
Not a lot.
What's going on? I can hear. Is somebody speaking?
Yeah, I'm gonna head back up to Kansas City.
Oh, it's someone.
All I hear is you, brother.
Toolman, is that you speaking?
Yeah, that's me. All I hear is you. I don't hear anybody else.
All right, yeah. I could just hear speaking. I thought it was you talking. Sorry.
Okay.
So
Yeah, I'm gonna head back up to Kansas City because I tried buying this one, an Amtrak ticket home, because I'm gonna hang out with somebody later. But
I mean, does your right to CANVA?
yeah, what do I do here?
all right. Sorry, I've just muted Toolman for a minute whilst he's busy. Sorry, Toolman. I'll unmute you in a few minutes, bro. Just in case. You clearly got background stuff going on. But yeah. Sorry, guys. Let's listen to this take for a minute whilst we're here. He posts a video, so we might as well listen to it. But yeah, it's a doozy.
Hi, welcome back to Forbes Games. I'm Eric Kane. I wanted to talk a little bit today about the Xbox platform and why I think it is going to leave Sony behind. And I want to be very specific here. I'm not talking about the Xbox Series X outselling the PlayStation 5. I think the PS5 is going to be the better selling console. But I think that is largely irrelevant when it comes to the success of the Xbox platform versus the PlayStation platform. This is because I see the Xbox platform is expanding well beyond simple consoles. We're looking at the Xbox Game Pass sort of taking over what it means to be Xbox. And Xbox Game Pass means a lot more than just Xbox, the console that sits next to your TV. This now incorporates your PC with Xbox Game Pass Ultimate. You get a huge catalog of games on both Xbox and PC, and it also encapsulates your mobile devices, your tablets and your phone, because of the Xbox game streaming capabilities. You can now stream games rather than download them on your console. But you can also stream games to your mobile devices, play them with a controller. And there's a whole bunch of titles on Xbox Game Pass that you can do that with. So the Xbox platform has really expanded well beyond just the Xbox console to a whole variety of devices. It's sort of like the Nintendo Switch in this regard, in that you can play on your screen and then take it with you with a mobile device rather than with the Switch itself. But you can take the game with you and play it remotely through the Xbox game streaming. You can purchase one game to play on your PC or your Xbox Series X or your Xbox One, rather than having to purchase different versions of the game. This is a huge advantage in terms of just cost for gamers, and really all these things make playing Xbox easier and more accessible than anything that Sony has on the PlayStation. The Xbox All Access program, which allows you to purchase an Xbox console and get Xbox Game Pass, with monthly payments rather than all up front is another way for the Xbox platform to become more accessible to gamers, because it's less of a barrier to entry with cost. But the fact that you can actually just play a lot of these games with Xbox Game Pass like on your tablet with a controller means that the barrier to entry is even lower. You don't need a PC. You don't need an Xbox Series X. You can play a lot of Xbox games on a device you already own with a controller.
Right, okay. I'm struggling to get through this, guys, but there are so many issues with what this guy is saying. I mean, barrier to entry, have you not heard of pay by finance that you can do through third party, like as an easy option to slowly pay off an item? That's exactly what Xbox are doing, but that's also exactly what you're able to do through freaking Argos in the UK. Or Curry's, PC World, or any other place that sells PS5s. You can pay for your finance. So that whole barrier to entry thing, I swear, tell me you're not paid by... tell me you're paid by Microsoft without telling me you're paid by Microsoft. I mean, this whole thing is, yeah, it's clickbait, and yeah, I took the bait. But it's crazy, man. It's crazy. Where does the logic fit in? In my opinion, like, forgive me for the slight woolly rant, but where does the logic fit in? Xbox is going to leave the PS5 in the dust in 2022. Why? Because clearly everybody in 2022 is interested in cloud gaming. As if, really? Will cloud gaming really take off in 2022? Is that what he's suggesting? I call bullshit. Not only that, but the logic behind Xbox leaving PS5 in the dust, despite that PS5 is, what's the phrase he uses in the chat? He says here in the article, trying to find it. He says it's basically a certainty that PS5 will outsell the Xbox. I can't find it right now, but it's almost certain that PS5 will outsell Xbox. So PS5 is the more popular console, right? Well, if PS5 is a more popular console, then how is it being left in the dust when, if you're the more popular console, that means that there are more people incentivized to purchase your service and subscribe to your service, and on top of that there's more third-party sales. Those two combined are the key defining ways that these consoles make money, and that these companies make money. It's through third-party sales and through subscriptions to the service. So if PS5 sells more than Xbox combined, Xbox Series X and S combined, then it's I'd say it's pretty apparent then that there'll be more subscribers to PS Plus, and on top of that there'll be far more third-party games sold on the PS5 platform. I'm ranting. But you guys asked me to talk about it, so I'm talking about it in the chat. I think it's just such a cringe-worthy shillfest, and cloud gaming is not going to incentivize people above native gaming. So,
You know, Wally, one of the things I don't understand about these kind of characters, and I have always labeled these kind of characters as 3-inch energy characters, because they don't want to link Xbox and Nintendo. Nobody's asking Nintendo to follow this path. Nintendo is making so much money right now by following a traditional path, and look at the money they're making. Nobody's telling Nintendo start a Game Pass like service, but they want to tell Sony to do the same. The truth is, every metric that counts, whether it be console sales, software sales, online users, Sony wins. Right now, we know from Tom Warren, Game Pass is not yet profitable. We also know that according to Microsoft's Xbox's financials at the end of the year, they do not tell us if the division is profitable. They only give you revenue, they don't minus expenses. So, according to Daniel Ahmad, the Xbox division is still in a question mark. Yet, all these journalists are telling Sony, you better follow. But the data does not tell us that Sony should be following this method. And when you look at Sean Layden, Jim Ryan, and other Take-Two CEO, all of them have said Game Pass will not work for high-budget games.
In fact, it won't. There is so much freaking misinformation, dude. There's so much misinformation bullshit. I mean, how many people, OT, just in the last 3-4 weeks have you heard saying PlayStation now going a Game Pass route? Oh, where's that energy, PlayStation fanboys? I thought Game Pass isn't good for games. Now PlayStation are following suit just like we promised. These guys
it's because they're insecure.
Haven't even taken the time to read the freaking facts. There is nothing in Game Pass about the new model that Sony are going down. Why? Because the new model is only a consolidation of the same models. All it is PlayStation Plus and PS Now being consolidated together. That does not make it a Game Pass equivalent at all. It's not in any way, shape or form a Game Pass model.
Yeah. Because when I'll admit that Sony has followed Game Pass is if they do day and date, which they have said they will not. And also on top of that, if you look at the people who are championing and saying, hey, look, Sony is going the direction of Game Pass, all of them are idiots. Look at Dealer. Look at the kind of people Dealer operates with, D-Batch, Dumbatch. You know, they all say Sony is following, but they've all got these things wrong, 40 to 50 frames. So why do the Xbox community listen to idiots instead of listening to Sean Layden, Jim Ryan, the CEO of Take-Two? They'd rather listen to Dealer. That's why I say these guys are foolish. They're just foolish idiots.
The only one among that group who has any IQ about him and asking the right questions is Fonzarelli. And it's so sad that a man who's clearly intelligent, who's clearly got substance about him, who's clearly got huge potential and charisma to be a Colin Moriarty, right, in how he displays himself and in the following that he could get. Because he speaks his mind, he speaks conviction, right? So he could easily get to those numbers that Colin's at if he did things differently and he changed it up a bit. But he lets his intelligence be insulted by the people around him, telling him to hush, be quiet, and don't be so silly, because Xbox is clearly the superior console. It's been proven. And literally, Dealer, he does a full Donald Trump every time. Seriously, he's like, fake news, it's great, it's perfect, we'll see, give it a couple of years, and you'll see the delta, you'll see the difference. And literally, you should see my friend, he's a developer, great guy. Honestly, I had him on the show. He's a developer, and he said you're gonna see the difference. He goes full Donald Trump, Dealer, every fucking time, and it's embarrassing. And Fonzarelli, after being so fucking intelligent, speaking his mind, and everybody listening and their ears pricking up, going, yeah, Fonz, you're onto something. Suddenly he shuts up, lets Dealer patronize the shit out of him and speak to him like he's a 5-year-old, even though Dealer hasn't got one intelligent bone in his body. And it's so fucking stupid and like such a shame that Fonzarelli lets himself be insulted like this. It's insulting. All because Dealer can't allow his show to be critical of Xbox, because Aaron Green will get on that phone, text him going, yo man, what's going on? This isn't good. We can't listen to this. People can't hear this being said on your platform. You're sponsoring us, remember? And so Dealer just goes on this hush, be quiet, Fonz rant, and D-Batch, or D-Bitch, sorry, whatever you want to call him, It was right there up his
Numbers.
ass. It was right there up his ass. Going, you're sure right. I swear, D-batch is an acronym for dealer bitch. That's literally what it means. And dealer bitch is like, you're so right, dealer. Don't listen to him. Don't listen to Fonz. You're wrong. You're wrong, Fonz. And dealer's right. And literally just backs everything that dealer says up, but with zero facts. It's just the same old shit. That's the same old rhetoric that we've heard time and time again. And I'm done with it.
Look, I get that Game Pass has some sort of accessibility to it. That's out of question. But that alone, carrying Xbox to the top, no fucking way. Like, absolutely no way. Because nobody, like, there's just a small fraction of people who are cloud gaming enthusiasts, but they're just a small fraction. You know, they're like in our space, like those NFT crypto bros. You know, they're not that well regarded, and there are just a few of them who are obsessed with that medium. Everybody else just hates it. Just hates it. It's inconvenient, and I don't like it. And also, uh, a lot of us, you know, a lot of us like to support the developer, you know, the people behind the art, and it's not that possible with Game Pass. You know, you can't support the developer that well when you just stream the game, you know, by paying that small monthly fee. You know, I like to support the devs, and I like to you know, give them the money for that piece of art they made for me. You know, it's just feels so much better, feels so much more right, and
Yeah.
also saying that you know the console's going to sell better, but it will take over because of Game Pass. Like that doesn't make any sense. Like how the hell should that how the hell should that company take over when at the end of the day the other company's selling more stuff?
Where the hell, facts, where the hell is the logic in this? I mean, just read this shit. While Sony still has the most desirable exclusives, primarily because you can only play them on PS4 or PS5. Wait. How is a game more desirable exclusive because it's harder to play them? How does that make them more desirable? Is that the suggestion? It's harder to play them. It's harder to play these exclusives on the most popular console. That makes no freaking sense. Sony still has the most desirable exclusives because of their quality and the quantity of their quality. Like, there are many games that they've put out that are very high quality. So it's their reputation that makes their exclusives desirable, not because those games are more exclusive. It's because they have a pedigree. It's because they have reliability. You don't get one Forza Horizon 5, which arguably is mostly just a copy of Forza Horizon 4 with a new environment, along with a load of poor titles that are disappointments and flops. You get quality titles among quality titles, whether they be indies, smaller double A's, or triple A's. Sony has a reputation, and very rarely do they deliver flops, or partner with flops. They do sometimes. I mean, you've got Godfall. Yeah, that was god awful in my opinion. But at the same time, there are games that have been massacred by the media for having the same issues that other games have been given a pass for. A bit of jank, a bit of pre-day one patch bugginess that gets fixed, and before you know it, when it's finally arriving on PC, it's overwhelmingly positive reviews. Days Gone, you know, it's overwhelmingly positive on Steam, its reviews. So there just seems to be
Hey, Wooly.
A lot of us shill.
Oh,
So
sorry.
go on, OT.
I've got to go.
worries,
Got to
my
go
brother.
some baby duty. But you're so right, man. So thanks for having me on the show.
No, it's been
I'll
awesome.
see you guys next time.
Until next time, OT, brother.
Take care, OT. Bye.
Take
Catch
care.
you later,
Bye.
OT.
Take care,
Catch you
Oh
later.
God, my boy
Uh,
DZ is here to take the wheel. Dude,
What's going on, fellas?
what's good, brother? You just
Sorry,
missed the
sorry,
bully run. I was
I know.
raving about the RDX crew.
Those guys are funny. I don't pay them any attention because they live in a different reality.
Big time. They got something in the water over there, fam. I swear down.
Alright.
But how are you, bro? You good?
Yeah, I'm good. Sorry, I'm late as fuck. I said 10 o'clock, but that workout took forever.
Hey, you know how to
And
keep
then,
the guy waiting. It's all good.
alright. Yes, I just got in. And I am winded, but I'm ready to talk some video games.
So
With
talk away, my dude. We've been
the best fucking group ever. So,
days, bro. That's so kind of you. Shucks. We were talking about Horizon Forbidden West. I don't know if there's anything you want to talk about regarding that game. We've kind of exhausted our points about it. But,
y'all would know, like, at every so often, for me anyway, when a studio releases a trailer that I'm very hyped for, I tend to look away from the gameplay and look at the technicalities because, like I said, I treat video games as academic for me anyway because I'm always trying to figure out how or visualize how the team does something in terms of extracting that detail or that special detail to make something look really good or how to implement that mechanic and what they're doing with it. And so like this most recent trailer where everybody was fawning over all the where everybody was mostly fawning over the new machines, I was looking at a case study on it based on the things that they've improved in terms of like how Aloy is planted and grounded within the world in itself. For me, I love when a game looks at its kinematics, which is basically the placement on the ground itself and how well it meshes with the ground so it doesn't look like the character is floating. And they're
control.
Yeah.
Them
Yeah,
kinematics were non-existent. She was ice skating that bitch.
Yeah. And so a lot of ways that developers add to that grounded feel is having physics calculations running with inverse kinematics. And then once they've done those inverse kinematics for contextualizing feet placement and everything based on terrain slants or terrain depth or something like that, then they'll do occlusion, ambient occlusion, which kind of gives the illusion that the character has a little bit of depth to them so that they don't look like they're, when they're standing still, they don't look like they're just flat and a part of the geometry itself, but they actually stand out. And for this recent trailer and different aspects of it showcase for me that I was paying attention to showcase just how much work the team over at Gorilla has done in terms of like making Aloy really feel grounded and also they've worked a ton, I could tell, in surface level and subsurface level details. And if you look, there are so many instances of it. Like the snow deformation, there's shallow snow, and then there's deep snow. And the way Aloy moves through it when she's running, it's now weighted. it's like there's a little bit of friction with it, and the snow displaces itself quite well, and more realistically now because of all the physics calculations that they're running on simulating that. And then there's a scene in that recent trailer where she's fighting that giant shell snapper, and like if you look, I mean, they've done shallow water placements and stuff like that in many games, but like there's some really minute detail in there where when she places her feet and she moves her feet to pull up her bow and everything, the water ripples, but then the water also trails when she moves her feet, and the water at that point is like just below her ankles. But like even to have that kind of minuscule detail as a focus point just to ground and add realism. And then it's not even just that, but like when she moves her feet.
I've just seen that now. I've just literally, hold on, I'll get this up for everyone. Check this out, guys. Check what DZ's talking about here. Hold on, let me zoom in for you guys to see. This is pretty nuts, actually.
When she, and even still, when she moves her feet, you could see her feet kind of move over and not necessarily clip into the geometry, but actually moves over and places her feet almost. You see her feet kind of fold over dynamically over the placement, over the different elevations, however slight they may be. That's all down to very, very intensive physics calculations that's being run on inverse kinematics for leg placement and stuff. So like a game that does not have good inverse is like Ghost of Tsushima. Like if you walk with that and you go up a slope, you'll notice Jin just kind of, his legs just kind of clip into the geometry, and it almost just looks like it's a slope with a freaking texture where the collider is just not responsive, and that happens throughout a lot of things, and like even in games like
not a technical powerhouse, that game, is it?
Yeah. So like those kind of subtle things are like stuff that they've done to ground it, because in the original Horizon,
as DZ's talking, just look at Aloy's feet, right, and you'll see exactly what he's talking about. Look, especially now, look closely as you see this bit. Watch the ripple as she kneels down. Watch the ripple in the water, and then how her legs, the subtle movements in her legs. See how her front leg, then the water ripples around her front foot, her left foot, and her knee.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Sorry, carry on, DZ.
Yeah, so like there's been a ton. I mean, these are all minuscule small things, but like if you compared this to like Ghost of Tsushima, even on PS5, one of the things that was like, I love that game to death, but like
apparently I'm really quiet. I'm trying to understand why I'm really quiet. Hold on.
Even on PS5, one of the things, if you play that game, you'll notice when Jin is going up a slope or doing anything, he'll clip in his feet or whatever will clip directly into will just clip right into the geometry itself, and like that's down to no context, no contextual animations, and then there's also no inverse kinematics being calculated, so that the leg is being calculated against the terrain. And then of course they also have their terrain, most of it is just embellishment textures that with incorrect colliders, and while the game looks pretty and whatnot, it just doesn't have that sense of realism that you'd kind of expect coming from a first party game and whatnot. So like those are just some of the things that I was paying attention to for Horizon. Like the combat, we already know the combat's already insane. It's gotten so much better, and we're all hyped about that. Like,
is this better, guys? Is my mic better now? Has this fixed it? Could you just let me know?
I can hear you fine.
Yeah, it's not you, DZ. It's more the people in the chat. As my voice is going through Discord to you, but it's going through OBS to them, and see if my voice sounds better to them now. Hopefully,
It's a lot high. It's a lot higher here in Discord than it.
Wooly is back. Everybody's like, Wooly is back. I'm back, guys. All my days spent for weeks and weeks and weeks. I've just wanted to ASMR you guys and chill you guys out, you know, be all soft and kind of, you know, keep my voice on low key. But clearly, you guys want me to be loud. I should have done my Wooly rant with my mic on full power. But it's just not to be. It wasn't to be. Next time, eh? Next time. Carry on, DZ.
So yeah, there's just certain things like that, and that stuck out to me. And then that doesn't just extend for the snow or the water, but like the sand. There's different depth levels for sand, and the details work just as minute and granular as that would be. Like if you've seen her running through the desert-like terrain, you'll notice that there's a thicker layer of sand, and it moves and it reacts and it cascades when the wind blows or while she's running through it, and she leaves sand trails, but like not just rudimentary ones where it's her footprint. Depending on the level of depth in there, the sand will careen and separate in a way. And it doesn't just work like that for her, but also the enemies as well. The machines and the NPCs that you'll come across will interact with it in similar ways and whatnot. And like, so that's just one of the things that I saw and was like obsessing about, and I even made a thread about it on Twitter. And so like, yeah, Gorilla is really amped this sequel up, and like this isn't even this is a cross-gen release. So if they're paying attention to stuff like this and it's a cross-gen release, then
I mentioned this before. I gave you a shout out before, DZ, saying that in episode 1 or 2 where on does cross-gen really matter? You mentioned how us being in the cross-gen era currently of this part of the generation, it doesn't really mean much in the sense that they're still finding their feet with the next gen console. So why not make it cross gen whilst they learn what these bad boys can do, and then when they deliver the next gen games truly live up to their name.
Exactly. And you could see all those kind of things with just how they optimize stuff for their next gen engines. Like we only need to look at Insomniac and see just how they're working. Like Ratchet and Clank's technological innovations far supersede what they were capable of doing at launch, and those technical stuff that they were able to pull off for Ratchet, they went back and patched them in and applied them to both Spider-Man Remastered and Miles Morales on PS5. So like, I'd say cross-gen is handled a little bit differently under Sony. Under Sony's banner, and developers tend to bring the goods when it comes to that. So like, if you look at Horizon Forbidden West and compare that to say Microsoft's current one of their current cross-gen games, you'd see the only one that we really could compare it to would be like Forza Horizon, because that team is carrying Microsoft right now.
Yeah, for real. Facts. Just a bit of confirmed. Here's some proof, guys. It's absolutely confirmed that Spider-Man is indeed in Horizon Forbidden West. At least Aloy is set in the Spider-Man universe. Look, here she is entering Doctor Strange's mirror dimension, as you can see right here.
What are you talking about? Let me go see this nonsense.
So right here, as you can see, she's entering Doctor Strange's mirror dimension, and where everything bends to his will. And no doubt you will see Spider-Man. So there you go. There's a little side note, just a little bit of factual nonsense for you guys. But yeah, believe me. Trust me, bro.
I personally like to imagine that all the PlayStation exclusives play in the same universe.
Mm-hmm.
Just like I do with every other, with those early 2000 superhero movies. I also like to imagine them all being in the same universe.
Yeah. I it's a cool thought, man. I'm so excited. We can't spoil anything. It's too early. I know Supernova is doing right now a spoiler discussion of Spider-Man No Way Home, so go check him out after we close this up. But yeah, it's too early for us to leak anything for you guys. Don't want to spoil it, but for real, it is incredible. I loved that film very, very much. No, man, that's a great shout. You really brought my attention to something I hadn't noticed before with that DZ. So thank you. That's awesome. You've got a keen eye, being a developer and all. Speaking of which, I hope your plans are progressing with your personal.
My personal stuff, they are.
Yes.
In one way or another, but
good. Okay,
more on that.
We'll keep it.
That.
Hey, mate, that's all we needed. That little snippet. Just to. We all know. On another note, DZ, we've got NXG joining us some point in the near future. So that's gonna be dope.
That'd be awesome.
You'll be able to pick his brains. I know you'll have some great questions and insight for him. Also, hopefully we've got that gentleman that we'll be interviewing in a couple of shortly after New Year, or maybe around February time. We'll be my brain's gone blank. I've forgotten his name. How bad is that? He was
Ubisoft developer.
He is now, yeah, but he did develop Battlefield 2042 and then left once it released. And we'll be interviewing him. And I had the audacity to actually message the chap. He's got a really interesting name. Mathis de Jong.
Oh, Mathis de Jong.
Mathis de Jong. Yeah, I messaged him
from Gorilla.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Oh wow.
So hey, mate, you got to reach out to these guys, and one day you'll get given a carrot. So I'm keeping busy.
No, you want me to tell you something that's funny? In 2016, when I went to Berlin on holiday for New Year's, I did an impromptu trip over to the Netherlands, and I had my very first time. That was my very first time there. I was still in college at the time, and I literally had just started my my second year in my game design degree, and I literally just said, you know what, I'm just gonna go hunt down Gorilla and ask questions to see if they do internships or anything with people from the United States. And I literally just went over and I had my thumb drive and I was working on very small games, and I just was kind of picking their brains. And I literally walked right into their studio, wired up the reception, and was just like, could I speak with the managing director? And at that time, that was Herman Holtz. And so like they were just like, yeah, well, he's busy. You can't really just do that. And I said, well, I don't know how you guys work about this stuff, but like I'm very much a fan of your games. And I said I'm actually visiting here on holiday, and I just kind of wanted to touch bases and see if you guys do internships. And it was Angie Smet who they got in touch with, and she was actually on a short break, and she just had a quick word with me about that um, they don't do stuff like that at the time, but she was just like the initiative that I took was very surprising because people don't normally just walk in with a thumb drive saying, "Hey, I want to intern for you." So like,
Wow.
you know, yeah, they're really down to earth over there and whatnot. But like, um, it's a pretty interesting thing to just, like to meet some of those people who make really fantastic games. And
Dude, I didn't know Gorilla had like an office or something in Germany.
no, it's not in Germany.
Oh,
It was like I said, the backstory was that I went to Berlin, and while I was in Berlin, I took a quick trip, an impromptu trip. Um, Took the train from Berlin. It was like 16 hours, no, 8 hours. Took the train 8 hours from Berlin into the Netherlands just for a day, and I just decided that I was gonna walk right into their studio and whatnot. So like this was in the Netherlands, and I literally just went and was just like, "Hey, I want to intern for you guys. Do you guys intern and whatnot?" And it was Angie Smet that spoke to me.
That's
Um,
awesome.
they called her down. The receptionist called her down and whatnot, and because I was like, "Hey, I want to talk to Herman. I want to talk to your managing director and whatnot because like I'm a fan of your guys' games and I want to." And they were just like, "No, we don't do that. We're a bit too busy for that right now." And they said internships would typically be for European. People who work in the UK or live in the UK or live in Europe, perhaps going to college there and whatnot, and just needed that. But they didn't do it. They weren't doing any at that time because they were still knee deep. This was 2016, so they were still knee deep with Horizon at that point. So like, yeah, but. They're like I said, they're just so down to earth. Angie was just like, "Oh, that's really interesting because normally when they do internships, you apply online and whatnot through their career page and whatnot." But um, they were just like, people don't just walk in and say, "I want to get hired," or "I want to do this," and they don't come with thumb drives, just kind of being audacious and demanding an audience.
Never be
So
polite to yourself. You always push yourself and be brutish, if that makes sense, with your, commander yourself, and don't have too much. What's the word?
Hesitation.
Yeah. Don't hesitate.
You gotta shoot your shot. And
you gotta grab yourself by the balls and pull them hard, if that makes sense. I hope that doesn't sound too suggestive. You know what I mean. If your legs aren't moving, make them move. But yeah, no, facts, bro. Hats off to you, man. And it's awesome. So yeah, I'll keep you posted how those developments happen. And but yeah, big things for this podcast, fam. Thank you to all of you in the chat who have subscribed, liked, and shared, and been part of this growth. And when we reach 1,000 subscribers, which we will, that day will come, it's onwards and upwards from there, fam. And it's exciting times ahead. So yeah, I really love this breakdown of Horizon Forbidden West. I hope we've done this game mostly justice to the best of our ability, despite my obsession with foliage reacting to the player. Here's hoping that does happen. I will remain hopeful until 6 months post-launch that feature will at least be implemented if it is not already. But as for everything else about this game, Horizon Forbidden West, it's looking truly incredible, and I'm very, very excited. As for that Forbes article, how Xbox is about to leave PS5 in the dust, dudes, people like to have their ears tickled. I know I had a big rant. I'm not going to rant again about it, but there's just so much disingenuous BS that there seems to be, like, I don't know if there's something in the water, how people lack the self-awareness to realize how biased and ignorant these kind of takes are. But if they're not on the payroll, then I don't know what the hell they're on with regards to Microsoft. But yeah, covered that briefly. Don't know if OT wants to add anything to that article, if you've seen it yourself, OT. That article by Forbes, everybody was talking about it. DZ, he's gone. I'll take that as a no. Hello?
DZ, you're kind of bugging, man.
Bugging. Did I call DZ OT by mistake? I'm sorry. I meant DZ. But DZ, you're botting really bad.
Seeing it.
There you go.
Wait, you guys hear me now?
You can hear me now, yeah. Great.
Okay. Yeah. You called me OT by accident.
I'm so sorry, bro. I promise you, it's not because you're black. It's because your names end in E, and your names end in E. That's it. Yeah, I swear down. I'm tired. I'm really tired.
It's fine.
I don't suppose you've seen that article by Forbes.
No.
Oh, DZ, bro, you're botting like you're botting like, I don't know, a malfunctioning bender out of Futurama.
I love Futurama.
Yeah.
Seen that.
Oh, DZ.
Can you hear me better now?
Hello.
Can you hear me better now? Hello?
Just about. Yeah. Now I can.
Okay, sorry. Yeah, I've seen the article. It's all clickbait and whatnot. As a matter of fact, that article was remixed, so to speak, because the author for that I actually posted that same article in August earlier this year. So like it's just desperation and hits and narrative trying to be rewritten and whatnot, and people are rooting. Those people are rooting for the underdogs, and like it doesn't even matter. It's funny too because all of this stuff is about the Xbox blowing PlayStation out of the water. They're not even trying to focus. Hold on. This on Nintendo because somehow Nintendo is not even a non-issue to them. I'm like, I don't know why these people are trying to gun for, the PlayStation. Like, try to beat Nintendo before you even try PlayStation. Like, come on.
Yeah, big facts. Big facts, bro.
It's just your competition right now should be trying to surpass the second place, get to second place, or beat Nintendo, because that's just that's just the nation. That's just the way things are right now. So I don't know. I didn't really pay too much attention. You know, every day there's a new article that comes out. PlayStation is doing this. Xbox is doing better. Um, Nintendo just released this. Every day, the PlayStation 5 only had really good games, and that was about it. And I'm just like, you know, you all saw the Kotaku article as well. So yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Preach. Yeah, I'd say, to be honest, guys, I'd say that's good enough. A good enough answer for me, and I'm so pooped. I think we're gonna call it a night. It's been a pretty exhausting day for me. Long story, but yeah, guys, what an awesome show. Thank you so much to Toolman. Hey, Toolman, bro, I'm sorry there wasn't many topics tonight, bro. So we'll have to get you on again. Would love to pick your brains about other topics if you'd like to come on. If you'd ever like to join us again, it would be an absolute pleasure. But Wilhelm, nice to hear you speak tonight too, brother. And Akira had to go, I think. Same with you, Caesar Exposito. Thank you to all the panel and all the no, he's not muted. Toolman isn't muted now, I don't think. He's muted himself. So yeah, so there we go.
Oh, there it is. There it is. Okay.
You were muted. you muted yourself.
Yeah, I was just gonna say thanks for having me on. I really enjoyed it. Thank you.
Me too, brother. Would love to have you on again soon, definitely.
Okay.
But yeah, let's do outros. Sorry, DZ man, you haven't had much time, but what you have said has been extremely valuable as always. Where can we find you, my guy?
You could find me at on Twitter at EXP I'm always there. These days I'm posting about video game discourse. Every now and then I'll do an academic deep dive into video games I'm super hyped about, either detail or either about minute detail or just how things how the design process may go about it, and other stuff. You know, come for the jokes, stay for the information on video games. And then I'm also routinely interacting with the panel itself on things that they want out of the video game industry, and that's all fun. And you know, so you know how to find me.
Awesome. I've also, in case you were curious, I've overhauled. Here's a example of it now that I'm showing on the screen. I've done a bit of editing, and I've given a bit of a facelift to the channel on YouTube, but also on Twitter as well. Adding various.
You wear my head. I see like that thumbnail picture there. You know, the panel, and I don't see my head.
Oh shit!
You're forgetting Will again. You forgot Will. You forgot Will last week,
you know what,
and
I
now
did?
You're forgetting Will this week.
You know what I did, Will? You know what it is? I swear down, just in case I felt like I was forgetting someone, and I went onto last week's show and looked at the panel, and you weren't there, so I didn't include you. I'm a fucking idiot. Will, please forgive me, dude. You're not irrelevant, I promise. It's just your name, bro. Your name just disappears in the nether
magically
realm.
Disappears.
It does. The nether realm takes it. Will, I will fix this shit. I knew I was short and I couldn't figure out how or why. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. It's really not acceptable. I will fix this even before I go to bed, and I am fucked. So yeah, I will fix it straight away. I promise you. Will, I'm so sorry, dude. Will, please don't leave us. Where can we find you, my guy?
Well, you can find me on Twitter under @MaximusWilhelm, which you should have actually seen on the picture there, but I don't know. I think Jack Dorsey just took it and threw it away. But other than that, it was a great show. And I thank you, Wooly, for speaking. Sorry, my brain today is with time. My brain is also getting tired, so I struggle to get a single sentence out. But I just wanted to say thank you for giving a good word for me to Salty. I finally don't have to sleep at a parking lot. I finally have work.
Facts.
No.
Facts. You sleep in a parking lot? Oh, bro.
It's a joke. It's a joke, man.
Pulling your leg.
Also, Two Man, great to have you on
leg.
there tonight.
Thank you. Nice meeting y'all.
And it's nice. It's nice that Wilhelm's been more vocal as well, because he's the quiet type. But it's been awesome. It's always awesome hearing him speak. But he's been filling in for DZ tonight, so it's been great. Yeah, big time. No, I do apologize again, Will. I will fix that. See what I did there?
No problem.
I will, yeah. Or I will go to Helm. See what I did there? Get it? Oh, that's so bad.
I get it.
I'm sorry. I made up a joke just the other day, actually. You might find this funny, Wilhelm. What do you call a glass of water?
Tell me.
H2O. What do you call 2 glasses of water?
Tell me.
H2O. You get it, right?
This is so bad joke, but whatever.
So bad. But I thought it was really funny.
I would have loved for Akira to hear that joke. He wouldn't have got it.
Yeah,
he didn't got my Duke Nukem Forever joke. So
I need to help. We need to help Akira learn the word February, how to say it. He really struggles with that one word. It's so funny. It's adorable. I love it.
February.
He goes Ferrari. He
Ferrari.
He really struggles with that word. It's funny. But no, it's been awesome. Caesar, where can we find you, my guy?
Well, you can find me on Twitter as my name and surname, Cesar_Exposito.
Caesar
I hope you... Yeah.
I love it. Thank you, Caesar. Yeah, give Caesar a
Thanks
follow
to
big
you.
time. He's definitely worth a follow. And Toolman, what an absolute honor to have you on, my dude. Where can we find you? Is it just Toolman55 or?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, socials the same as on screen. Toolman_55.
Awesome.
PlayStation, just like it's on the screen, all caps, and play a little bit on Xbox too. That's same all caps Toolman, but it's space 5555.
Just like Xbox fanboys, all caps. And Xbox podcasts, all caps. That's what your name and them have in common. And if you thought that joke was bad, who are you? 5. Here's another one for you. What sound does a lazy cow make? Meh. Right. And you're welcome.
These are horrible.
You're welcome.
Throw them
right.
out.
And on that
Throw
note,
them out with the rest of your bad dad jokes.
I know. And on that note, we will see y'all next time. Young out.
Alrighty.
Goodbye.
through the night. What a thrill. I'm searching and I'll melt into you. What a fear in my heart, but you're so supreme. I give my life, not for honor, but for you. In my time, there'll be no one else. Crime, it's the way I fly to you. I'm still in a dream, snake eater.
Now we can fight as warriors, hand to hand. It is the basis of all combat. Only a fool trusts his life to a weapon.